Good morning, kids. Today we're checking out a brand new video, well, kind of a brand new video from What Culture Horror about the top 10 dumbest decisions ever done in horror movies that actually got the villain killed. Let's hop in.
The horror genre is so overabundant with idiots. It feels like a breeding ground for people who lack survival instincts. But if there's one horror character that counterbalances this trope,
there you go.
it's usually the villain. Whether it's a mad scientist, a man-eating psychiatrist, or a savvy psychopath, the big bad is often 10 steps ahead of everyone else,
Most
allowing
commonly,
them to
yeah.
outsmart their victims with ease. But on occasion, the baddie is defeated by their own incompetence. So with that in mind, I'm Ellie with What Culture, here with 10 dumb decisions in horror movies that got the villain killed. Number
Let's hop
10.
in.
Kaufman assumes Cholo isn't a zombie in Land of the Dead. In Land of the
What?
Dead, a zombie
What?
outbreak causes modern society to collapse, with one of the last remaining cities being run by the tyrannical Paul Kaufman, who doesn't care how many die to safeguard his legacy. After the flesh-eating creatures develop the ability to think and follow a leader, they successfully infiltrate Kaufman's domain. Rather than
That
prepping
ain't
a
good.
retaliation, Kaufman abandons his guards, leading to them being zombified, including his commander, Cholo. With Kaufman moments away from escape, he's stopped in the parking lot by an undead Cholo. Assuming Cholo is alive, Kaufman plugs his former right-hand man with 3 bullets. Before Kaufman can make a run for it, Cholo grabs him, giving another zombie enough time to kill him.
And here
Although
we go.
Kaufman couldn't see his former employee in the dark, he should have recognized he was no longer among the living. Cholo didn't speak a word, nor did he react when he was blasted with the first 2 slugs. Also, he was shambling towards
Yeah.
Kaufman like a zombie. Even if Kaufman wasn't
Shamble,
he should
shamble.
have played it safe by pumping a bullet in Cholo's skull. Number 9.
Always aim for the head.
Hey,
Oh,
Simmers.
hold on, folks. We'll be right back. And we're back.
Buffalo Bill cocks his gun in Silence of the Lambs. In The Silence of the Lambs, FBI trainee Clarice Starling collaborates with liver-guzzling cannibal Hannibal Lecter to find the serial-killing dressmaker known as Buffalo Bill. After
Oh,
full-
yes. They ate his liver with a nice side of fama bean. Damn it. I can't say the damn quote. Never
Following a
mind.
series of clues, Clarice locates his address. Upon entering the house, Starling follows him into a room with only one exit, seemingly cornering him. Suddenly, the skin-suit-wearing psychopath turns off the lights, leaving Clarice in pitch black. While wearing night vision goggles, he's able to effortlessly pursue Clarice while the ambitious agent fumbles in the dark. Rather than killing her then and there, the maniacal tailor toys with her. On 2 occasions, he considers reaching out and touching Clarice, which would give away his position. And then he does exactly that anyway. When he cocks his
Yep, the
revolver, the
idiot.
clicking sound alerts Clarice of his presence, allowing her
Click
to shoot him
and
dead.
bang.
If he had his gun ready or positioned himself in an obscure location, he would have had no problem getting the drop on the federal officer. Considering how careful he'd been up until this point, this flagrant oversight is very out of character. Number 8.
Yeah, totally.
Martin doesn't leave after getting what he wants in Army of the Dead. In Army
well,
of the
of
Dead,
course they
Scott
don't.
Ward is hired to lead a military squad into a zombie-infested casino to break open a safe. Unbeknownst to Scott,
You're
his
shitting me.
colleague Martin has secret orders to retrieve a fertile zombie called the Queen, so his superiors can create an undead army. When Martin successfully captures the Queen's head, he reveals his master plan to Lily, explaining
Oh,
how his
that's the
target is
Queen.
worth far more than the contents of the safe. Instead of getting out of the region immediately, which is to be nuked within the hour, Martin sticks around hoping to grab a few mil on the way out. But what's the point? He's already getting
dude.
paid a fortune for locating his target.
Exactly.
Why venture into a suicide mission for a little bit more? Better yet, why did he divulge these details to Lily? As soon as she learns what Martin is up to, Lily hides the Queen's head, preventing him from leaving. While he attempts to find
What
it,
is
Martin
that?
is mauled to death by a zombified tiger. If he
Oh,
got out
shit.
when he had the chance or didn't spill the beans to Lily, Martin would have walked away with millions.
Oh,
Number
damn.
7. Griffin says surprise in The Invisible Man. The Invisible Man opens
the
with
most recent
Cecilia
one.
leaving her abusive husband, a brilliant optical scientist called Adrian Griffin. When Adrian supposedly takes his own life, Cecilia feels like a great weight has been lifted from her shoulders. But after she's attacked by an unseen force, Cecilia believes Adrian is tormenting her while wearing a light-cancelling suit. When Adrian frames Cecilia for murder, she's placed in
And
a
the science behind the suit is actually pretty damn impressive, and I like it.
a psychiatric hospital, where she hears her insidious husband smugly utter the word surprise. But when Cecilia kills her incorporeal foe, she learns her tormentor wasn't Adrian at all, but his brother Tom. Although this revelation seemingly lets Adrian off the hook, Cecilia suspects her husband and Tom were working together to ruin her life. When Adrian invites Cecilia home and asks
Wait. Why would both of them be walking in that together? Well, maybe it's just been a while since I've seen the movie, but I have no idea why both of them would be walking on this goal. Meh.
To come back to him, it's still not 100% clear whether he was in cahoots with his sibling. But when he says the word surprise in the exact same tone as before, Cecilia recognizes Adrian was the invisible pursuer. By uttering that one single word, Adrian gave himself up, compelling Cecilia to execute him. Number 6. Dr. Sartain orchestrates Michael's escape in Halloween. In 2018's Halloween, Michael Myers breaks out of Smith Grove Psychiatric Hospital 40 years after his initial killing spree, tormenting the Haddonfield residents once more. Myers' psychiatrist, Dr. Sartain, tracks down Laurie Strode, believing the masked killer will make contact with her. After Sartain teams up with Deputy Hawkins, the pair are assaulted by Michael.
No, correction, not remembering the movie, remembering just all of this.
Just as Hawkins is about to shoot the mute maniac, Sartain attacks him, revealing he orchestrated Michael's escape. Sartain then delivers a typical evil monologue, explaining how he grew weary while studying his imprisoned patient, believing he could only assess Michael by releasing him into the wild. Almost immediately after Sartain divulges his convoluted motivation, Michael smushes his head to paste. At this point, the only thing viewers can think of is, what did you think was going to happen? Also, did Sartain think this decision would benefit his career? He just told everyone he was the mastermind behind Michael's latest massacre. Considering Sartain has worked with Michael for decades, he should have been well aware that unleashing him into the real world would have had disastrous consequences. Number 5. Chris tries to run over a telekinetic in Carrie. In this classic Stephen King adaptation, high school bully Chris blames her psychic classmate Carrie White for getting her banned from the prom. Out for literal blood, Chris and her boyfriend Billy vow revenge on Carrie. At the prom, the nasty pair successfully dump a bucket of pig's blood on Carrie, humiliating her in front of all the students and faculty members. Blinded by rage, Carrie unleashes her powers on everyone in the room, slaughtering dozens. After Chris and Billy manage to escape, they dash towards their car and drive off. Instead of heading to a police station or getting out of town, they track Carrie down and attempt to run her over. As they approach her, the traumatized psychic uses her telekinesis to blow up the vehicle, killing her two greatest tormentors. Despite the fact that the nefarious duo had the perfect opportunity to flee, they decided to charge at Carrie, even though they were fully aware she could effortlessly overpower them with her mind. With that said, Chris and Billy deserve to die. Number 4. Entering a maze during a snowstorm in The Shining. In The Shining, the spirits of the Overlook Hotel drive Jack Torrance insane, urging him to kill his wife Wendy and his son Danny. After Danny heads outside during a blistering blizzard, he runs into the hedge maze, hoping to lose his father. By following Danny's footprints in the snow, Jack is certain he can find the boy. However, the quick-thinking child creates a false trail to lead his father astray, before backtracking and reuniting with his mother. Unable to find the exit, Jack freezes to death. Although Jack is too crazed to think straight, his actions here are pretty nonsensical. If Jack killed Danny, there was still no guarantee he'd be able to get out of the maze alive.
Call that a, killer sickle? That was a pun though, but I got nothing.
Also, why didn't Jack pursue Wendy instead? When Danny escaped, Wendy was trapped in a bathroom with nowhere to run. Jack could have hid anywhere and pounced on her the moment she came out. Considering the bathroom door was in pieces during the iconic "Here's Johnny" sequence, it wouldn't have taken much effort to break it down completely. But instead of waiting Wendy out, Jack thought it was in his best interest to march into a labyrinth during the night in sub-zero temperatures.
Oh, that's why he's holding his hand like that.
Number 3, Amber lets everyone know she's still alive in Scream. In 2022 Scream, Sam Carpenter and the other residents of Woodsboro find themselves at the mercy of another ghost face. In the third act, Sam discovers the killers are her partner Richie and her friend Amber. After Amber is shot 3 times and incinerated on the stove, Sam's party face off against Richie, eventually slitting his throat. Sam breathes a sigh of relief, believing the nightmare is finally over. Suddenly, the horribly disfigured Amber lunges at her while brandishing a knife. Luckily, Sam's sister Tara shoots Amber dead, ending Ghostface's reign of terror, at least
You
until the next
idiot.
installment. Of course, Amber only has herself to blame. If she snuck up on Sam and the others, she could have killed at least one of them before they realised she hadn't popped her clogs yet.
Or played
Instead, the
dead.
movie fanatic turned mass murderer charges into the room, screaming at the top of her lungs, giving everyone plenty of time to stop her. Granted, Amber
Oh, yeah,
probably wasn't
clearly.
thinking straight since half of her face had melted off, but it doesn't change the fact that her imbecilic actions led directly to her own demise. Number 2.
Pathetic. Oop, hold on folks, be right back. And we're back.
Burke tries to save the murderous xenomorphs in Aliens.
Oh, you gotta be
Aliens
shitting
begins
me.
with
No
Ellen Ripley being
freaking
released
way.
from cryostasis by the Weyland-Yutani Corporation. While speaking to the head rep, Carter Burke, she learns the company is terraforming the xenomorphs' homeworld. Despite Ripley's pleas to blow the exomoon to Kingdom Come, Burke carries on with the mission, leading to many deaths. Not only that, Ripley learns Burke was aware of the danger the xenomorphs posed, but sent his men in regardless, hoping to turn the eggs into biological weapons. Despite seeing
that
how
ain't gonna
uncontrollable the extraterrestrials are, Burke attempts to impregnate Ripley and Newt with facehuggers so he can smuggle the embryos to Earth. Karma comes with a vengeance shortly after, as Burke is ripped to shreds by one of the aliens he was trying so hard to profit from. It's easy to see why Burke is one of the most hated
remember
movie
that
villains
scene.
of the 1980s. Despite having a top job in the largest conglomerate in the galaxy, he goes out of his way to put innocent lives at
Dude got his head like busted like it was a damn watermelon.
risk, including children, just to make a quick buck. Number 1. Not studying Earth's bacteria in War of the Worlds. In 2005's version of War of the Worlds, divorcee Ray Ferrier is doing all he can to make amends with his distant family. Suddenly, Martians invade Earth, decimating human society within a matter of hours. With no discernible weakness, the aliens' victory appears imminent. But during the climax, the extraterrestrials find themselves unable to adapt to Earth's germ life. Unlike
And
humanity,
so-
the space travelers didn't have millennia to build up an immunity to the planet's microbes, prompting their doom the moment they landed. However, it's preposterous to consider these creatures didn't factor
I mean, that is actually something. It's like they land on Earth, open the door, take a deep breath, and immediately keel over. They're almost as dumb as the aliens from Sign, whose weakness is, if you remember, water.
in the dangers of bacteria while planning their invasion. These visitors from another world are smart enough to master space travel and devise impregnable force fields, but didn't think of safeguarding themselves from lethal pathogens? That would be like if human astronauts traveled to the moon or Jupiter under the assumption the hostile terrain wouldn't kill them. Why didn't the aliens
Which
wear
is wrong.
spacesuits to protect themselves? Why not send a small troop first to test the atmosphere before unleashing a global assault? War
Yeah,
of the World's
exactly.
subversive ending may be iconic, but it's still silly how unprepared the Martians were. And that
They
concludes
were
our list.
so
Let us know
dumb.
your thoughts in the comments down below, and while you're there, don't forget to like and subscribe and tap that notification bell. Also, head over to Twitter and follow us there, and I can be found across various social medias just by searching Ellie Littlechild. I've been Ellie with...
Alright, well that's that. Anyway, folks, thank you for joining me in today's episode. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link to the original will be in the description below, and I'll see all you folks next time when we flick on. Peace out.